This time, I will explain how Shohei Ohtani has acquired the strongest weapon as a two-way player, right under everyone's noses. Let's talk about Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is a unicorn who makes the two-way role look natural, and this season, since joining the Los Angeles Dodgers, he has been playing as a two-way player from the very start of the season. With the first half of the season nearly coming to an end, this year has undoubtedly been a new chapter for Ohtani as a two-way player. First, this season, he started by reeling off quality starts and at one point maintained an ERA of under 1.00. It was a brilliant performance on the mound. On the other hand, since becoming a member of the Dodgers in 2024, he has been leading the team as a batter. However, this season, he fell into a long-term batting slump for the first time in his career. I believe this was unexpected even for Ohtani himself. During the off-season last year, he told the Japanese media, "I am anxious when I think about a time when my training and adjustments no longer work." Unlike his time with the Los Angeles Angels, Ohtani is now 32 years old and has entered the veteran stage. He had concerns that the training and adjustment methods that had worked for him until now might stop working, and that fear manifested early this season. Shohei Ohtani's two-way style is built around his prowess as a power hitter. As a batter, he delivers extra base hits and home runs, while simultaneously performing as a pitcher who throws 100 miles per hour. That is the Shohei Ohtani style. Simply put, Ohtani's two-way ability is a fusion of a genius hitter and a pitcher who has grown through the accumulation of effort. For Ohtani, hitting is the very means that has opened up his baseball career. Back in high school, he played at Cochin, and the left-handed hitting Ohtani would drive the ball to left field with the same power a right-handed batter would. A certain man saw that hitting and was convinced that he would succeed as a professional player. That man's name is Hideki Kuriyama. He is the mentor who raised the two-way player Shohei Ohtani and the brilliant manager who led Samurai Japan to victory in the 2023 World Baseball Classic. The moment Kuriyama saw the high schooler Ohtani's swing, he was convinced he would excel in the pros. That is how exceptional Ohtani's hitting was from a young age. I believe Ohtani himself has always had absolute confidence in his hitting. During his time in NPB, his batting practice was a frequent topic of conversation. He would hit balls incredible distances, showing power never seen before, which became the talk of the industry. While players rarely perform free batting in MLB, Ohtani displayed his monster power in frequent free batting sessions when he was younger. That level of confidence in his hitting plays a vital role in supporting his career as a baseball player. During the first 3 years of his 6-year tenure with the Angels, he struggled to adapt to MLB and faced difficulties due to injuries. Despite the expectations for him as a two-way player, he struggled to produce results. There were even skeptical voices questioning if he could actually succeed as a pitcher. In 2020, there was even a humiliating criticism from the media claiming, the two-way role is a waste of time. Between 2018 and 2020, he wasn't getting the results he wanted as a two-way player, but what kept him going during that time? It was his hitting. He is a power hitter with incredible batting sense. When he first moved to MLB, he used a high leg kick to time his swings, just like he did in NPB, but he couldn't adapt to the pitches thrown by MLB pitchers. He hit a mountain of infield pop-ups and grounders, and I still remember feeling worried about his future at that time. However, he later stopped the high leg kick and changed his batting style to a heel-up approach to time his swings. Once he did that, he showed his true strength as a power hitter, and from 2018 to 2020, Ohtani's success as a batter became more prominent. During that time, he struggled as a pitcher while dealing with injuries, but from 2021 on, he became the two-way Shohei Ohtani that fans around the world know and love. Although he didn't fully blossom as a two-way player during those 3 years from 2018 to 2020, he built his career as a batter even when his pitching results weren't quite there. As I often say on this program, Ohtani's two-way style is perfectly balanced. When things don't go his way as a pitcher, he steps up as a batter to contribute to the team, and when he doesn't get results as a batter, he delivers a performance on the mound to help the team win. That is the balance of Shohei Ohtani's two-way style. In his younger years, when his performance as a pitcher dropped, it became a pattern for him to contribute with his bat. But this season, having started as a two-way player from the beginning as a member of the Dodgers, something unprecedented happened. He was performing brilliantly as a pitcher, but he fell into a long-term slump with the bat that had supported him for so long. Shohei Ohtani is a hitting genius, and I imagine he spent the majority of his practice time focused on pitching. You would see him playing catch or checking his pitching form much more often than you would see him taking batting practice. Because Ohtani has absolute confidence in his hitting, he rarely used machines for batting practice. Instead, he would watch and confirm the 100 miles per hour pitches thrown from a machine at the plate to maintain his strike zone discipline, which resulted in good batting stats. That is why we rarely saw him taking free batting practice outdoors. However, this season, his usual flow of training and adjustments stopped working. His hitting, which should have been his greatest strength, fell into a long-term slump, and nothing he did seemed to work. It took him 53 at-bats to hit his 7th home run after his 6th. I don't think he ever had a period in his past career where he went that long without a home run. Shohei Ohtani's career has been supported by his ability as a power hitter. He is truly a genius as a batter. As a pitcher, rather than relying on innate talent alone, the current version of Ohtani the pitcher has been established through the daily accumulation of hard work. For Ohtani, hitting was something he was so confident in, an absolute pillar of his game. But this season, that absolute stability collapsed. He couldn't hit home runs. He couldn't even get base hits, and strikeouts became frequent. Ohtani himself must have been desperate. Some have said he is dealing with a sore left knee because of the heavy burden of pitching, but that is wrong. As I have explained on this program before, why he hurt his left knee is that, while he continued to deliver incredible performances on the mound that could even challenge for the Cy Young Award during his long-term batting slump, he was desperate to get results as a hitter. I believe he focused more on batting practice than he usually would, whereas he had previously spent more time on pitching practice. That is why his left knee ended up screaming in pain. As a right-handed thrower, Ohtani's left leg is his landing leg when pitching. As a left-handed batter, his left leg serves as the axis when he times the pitch and initiates his swing. For both pitching and hitting, the left leg is an extremely important part of the body for Shohei Ohtani. He used to be able to get results without much batting practice, but this season, he fell into a long-term slump and must have been training his hitting desperately. Because he was continuing to pitch at a Cy Young level, his left leg reached its limit. The first half of the season is coming to an end, and many things have happened. I never expected the hitting genius Shohei Ohtani to fall into such a deep batting slump. It was unfortunate that the thing he worried about last off-season, that his usual training and adjustments might stop working, became a reality in the first half of the season. But there is another way to look at it. The very thing he feared happened early, and he successfully overcame that challenge. It took time to go from 6 to 7 home runs, but the speed from his 7th to his 20th was incredible. I am paying close attention to how many home runs Shohei Ohtani will finish the first half with. He has hit over 50 home runs for 2 consecutive years, and if he achieves that for a 3rd consecutive year, it would be yet another monumental feat. And there is one more thing I can say, specifically to those of you with excellent baseball intellect who support this program. By falling into an unprecedented batting slump this season and clearing it, Shohei Ohtani has obtained his greatest weapon. As he grows older and reaches 32, his physical body will inevitably decline. However, he has experienced many struggles as a pitcher, overcome numerous pitching challenges, and established his current form as a pitcher. As a batter, he had never experienced such a long-term slump. Therefore, before this season, I don't think he understood how to avoid or correct a long-term batting slump. However, he actually fell into a long-term slump, went through a process of trial and error, and managed to revive his hitting. This process of recovering his batting form is something Shohei Ohtani had never experienced before. He successfully pulled himself out of that slump in the first half of the season. This means a new era for the unicorn has begun. When he falls into a slump as either a pitcher or a hitter, he now understands everything he needs to do to recover and has acquired the methods to avoid it. This leads to him having the strongest weapon of all. If he understands what kind of approach is necessary when falling into a slump for both pitching and hitting, he will be able to maintain his performance even as he enters the veteran stage of his career. He has quietly updated himself as a unicorn, and without the rest of the world noticing, he has transformed into the strongest unicorn. The first half of the season will end soon. There is no doubt that he will showcase a level of activity we have never seen before in the second half. I am truly looking forward to the newly evolved Shohei Ohtani. That is all for today. Thank you very much.